bet there's some of you who have done that. There's especially one that I know did, and that's me. I'm kidding. The diversity and flexibility is also with hardware. Because of projects like the x86, Android runs on anything. ARM, x86, and MIPS, which I did not write here. Why is that important? Because if you can put Android on a cheaper device, i.e. a small PC, which is more prevalent, so it's easier to shop around for spare parts for, that's good for your product. Your product is cheaper, which means your price is better, which means your clients will be happier. Free stuff. The first thing I already went through twice, so I'm not going through again, but see the amount of free stuff you're getting just in the feature set, that's amazing. But also with hardware integration. Because Android is essentially Linux, and Linux, as I said, is here from the 1970s, you can see that any device that you want to hook on Android that's not already there is done easily. If it has a Linux driver, you can put it on Android in less than half a day. In our company, in VidMine, we did the same with the DVB-T tuner. No Android box had DVB-T before us. We have DVB-T 2 right now, which is in HD quality, just because it had a Linux driver, and we connected it to Android, easy peasy, very easy. Now, the large Linux community are very, very committed people. If you've seen Linux enthusiasts, you know them in advance. They're very, very passionate about Linux. This means that any new device that will come out to the market will probably have a Linux driver. So you can rely on this technology to take you forever. You're getting the development tools, the NDK, the SDK, the emulator, the Eclipse ADT, IntelliJ, the devices themselves, which are debuggable. Now you say, big deal, who cares? But Apple, you have to buy a Mac in order to develop for Apple. Microsoft, you have to buy Visual Studio in order to develop for the Microsoft components. This is free. Again, who counts how many times I said free in the lecture? It must be one. Now, again, with the QA tools, you get the DDMS, the hierarchy, the systrix, the dumpsys, the test project, the monkey and monkey. I love this slide for two reasons. One, this image is something I saw online for like 3 years ago. I have no idea why this Android is riding a mosquito that kills bugs. If any of you can connect me to the one who created this image, oh, thank you, I need an explanation. The other one is my favorite API call in the Android API. Is user a monkey? Now it means that you're using the monkey debugging tool, but it's very funny. The first time I saw it, I suspected it says true all the time, but then I was wrong. Now, another free stuff, continuous upgrade. Every 6 months you get free code from AOSP. Every year Google releases another version. That means that your product is being upgraded without you having to do anything. That's amazing. No other system on earth says that you'll get free upgrades for your product. It's absolutely insane. Integration is as easy as the first time. If you create a drivers for the first time, changing them to fit the new system is very easy, especially after ICS, because Jelly Bean, ICS, Keyline Pi all promise to work on the same driver level, so absolutely no changes will be needed at all. Now, most companies and products wish they had a third-party API. They're building a third-party API, and then they try to get developers to use it. Well, guess what? If you're building an Android device, you already have a third-party API. It's called Android. So a lot of people, if a Chinese developer created an APK application for Huawei mobile phones, perhaps it could fit on your device. If you have a television device like the one I'm developing, we just took APKs that were good for big screens, that fit on a television screen. And then we got 500 applications on the first day we looked for. 500. It's a lot. I mean, it's not 100,000 like the Google Play or the Apple Market, but it's a lot for a fledgling company. The Microsoft console took about 8 months to reach 500 applications, just for a comparison. Now, the power of the open community, the power of you, the developers, the open community, you're the power. That's, again, something I show to companies. If you're having a problem, chances are someone has already done so and had bragged about it in some post, so you can find it. If you're trying out something new, probably someone had done either that exactly or something related or a part of it before. If you built a product and you want people to start using it, just show it to your local community leader, and he will be glad to show it to people just because you will pay for pizza. That's as simple as that. That's why I love the open community. That's why I've flown here to Moscow from Israel to give you this lecture. Because I believe in open community, I believe in you. I actually do. It's not just something you say as a politician, because you won't see me ever again, probably. So there's no reason for me to lie to you. Now, if after all this, you said, okay, I want to start building, I want to start playing around with it. Let's do, it's a little bit of code, because I don't have a lecture without any code, but there's only 3 lines, so don't get excited. You need a kernel, which is free and outside on the android.git.kernel.org. It's in GPL license, so you can do whatever you want with it. AOSP, as I said, drops code every 6 months. It's in exactly the same place. It's all open source in different licenses. If you're starting a commercial company, please hire a lawyer to explain the differences, because I have no idea what the difference is. I just know they're all open source and you can use them. Licensing, if you want to use Gmail or SkyMap or, I have no idea, especially Google Play. How much do you think Google would charge you to use the Google Play? Show of hands, someone. Any chances? 3 what? 0 is the correct answer, thank you. All you need to do is run through the CTS. CTS is Client Testing Suite, which means Google just want to make sure that if they put their product on your product, that your product is good enough. You don't have to pay 1 red cent, which is amazing. No one does it. If you want to inquiry about that, you have this email, feel free to email it with spam. It's funny as hell, they get very mad. Now, to get the AOSP source, go to this link. Now, I see people taking a picture. I'm leaving the presentation here. If the good people at DevFest want to upload it for free, go ahead. I don't really think you need to take the pictures. But this link, get the repo with CRL, and then chmod, fetch it with repo in it, and then sync. I'm not reading the whole thing, that's insane. Build it with 4, I repeat, 4 commands. Set environment, setup, launch, make, and then call the emulator to see that what you've done is running. Now it sounds very simple, it is, but it's not that simple. So for the complete manual, because we don't have enough time, you need to go to these links. You have 2 links for building your own ROM, and if you want to build a ROM for a pre-existing device, such as your phone, you need to build your own kernel. So the link underneath takes you there and explains to you how you build a kernel for your own phone. How easy is that? Well, I hope you liked it. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Now, Q&A.
We all know that logo of Android is robot, and it's obvious that Android dreams to be maybe in ever robot devices produced in future. The question, does Google are going to implement some kinds of manipulation API?
What do you mean by manipulation API?
For screenless robotics devices.
What I love about Android is that anything is possible, but what I did learn about human experience is if it's too hard, people won't do it. Even if it is possible to build whatever you want, almost. But to invest all this effort to build a screenless robot, that's what I heard, maybe I misunderstood. I don't think there's no reason. Because if you want a screenless environment, it just takes Linux embedded. If you're going to waste all your time to build something that has no UI, Android will do the trick. Will do it easily. Will even help you do certain things for free or much faster. But I don't see why you would do so.
Okay, thank you. One more question: Are Google going to merge Android and Chrome OS projects?
I don't work for Google. Maybe I should have said that out loud so they don't share their strategies with me. Sorry.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Thanks for the talk. Google is a company interested in third-party user space developers for Android, but support for system developers is very poor. For example, on source. Not source. Developer.android.com you can find references and tutorials for Java Android classes and methods. But you can't find, for example, reference for Bionic. How do you think what system developers can do to change this situation?
First of all, you're not completely correct. There are some references to it, but they are poor. I do agree that there's a lot more weight on the application layer, but what you do have to realize is that, as I said before, Android is Linux. So if you
Sorry for breaking you. Yes, when you develop for Linux kernel, you can reference for Linux kernel documentation. When you develop in C code, you can reference for C reference. But when you start researching and learning Android pieces of all these layers and what between them, you not always can find interested documents, references.
True. Again, let me think. You should give this guy a lecture next time. He really wants to talk. But what I really wanted to say is that because Android is Linux, Google felt that they don't need to start where there's so much material on it. They started from the application layer, but they are in Israel. I know we're working on a site to be launched that will contain a lot of data which is not prevalent now on the internet. Some of it is in the system. I'm the one who will be writing the blogs for it. So we are aware of the problem in the Google development group environment.